The Canada Carbon Rebate, CCR, which was previously called the Climate Action Incentive Payment, CAIP, is a critical financial aid initiative that the Canadian government offers to residents across 8 provinces. It's designed to help Canadians offset the increased costs of energy, largely due to the federal carbon pollution pricing system. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly is this rebate, and how can it help me? Well, the Canada Carbon Rebate will be distributed by the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, on October 15, 2024, for the final quarter of the year. Given that there have been some important changes to the program recently, it's important to get familiar with the updates, especially if you're a new immigrant, temporary worker, international student, or even a long-time Canadian resident. This guide will walk you through all the details you need to know about the Canada Carbon Rebate, CCR, including how much you can expect to receive, how to apply, and the eligibility criteria. So, let's dive in and explore how this rebate works. What exactly is the Canada Carbon Rebate, CCR? Alright, let's start with the basics. The Canada Carbon Rebate, formerly known as the CAIP, is a tax-free payment offered to individuals and families who live in provinces where the federal carbon pricing system is applied. This rebate is part of the Canadian government's broader effort to return a portion of the carbon pricing revenue back to households. The goal is to make the transition to a carbon pricing system more fair and help families deal with the increased costs of energy due to the federal pricing on carbon pollution. So the idea behind this is that while carbon pricing helps reduce greenhouse gas emissions by making energy use more expensive, it can also result in higher costs for households. The Canada Carbon Rebate tries to soften this blow by providing financial assistance, making sure that the added costs of carbon pricing don't unfairly impact families and individuals, especially those in rural areas or with lower incomes. I see, you might be wondering how this all works in practice. Well, the rebate amount you receive will depend on your province of residence, your family size, and whether or not you qualify for additional benefits like the rural supplement. The more rural you are, the higher the rebate, which is good, right? This makes it a bit more equitable. When will the next payment be distributed? Okay, so now you know what the rebate is. But when will you actually get it? Well, the next payment is set for October 15, 2024. This will cover the final quarter of the year, and it will be distributed automatically to eligible recipients by the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA. The amount you get will vary based on your province, your family situation, and whether you're eligible for the rural supplement, but it's important to remember that you don't have to apply separately unless you're a newcomer or you haven't filed taxes recently. Payments are generally automatic, which is convenient, but you still need to meet some basic eligibility criteria. So, if you're eligible, just sit back and wait for that payment to hit your account. Who is eligible for the Canada Carbon Rebate? So, the next question might be, who exactly qualifies for this rebate? Let's break it down. Eligibility depends on a few factors, such as your residency status, whether you've filed taxes, and your age. There are 2 main groups of people who are eligible: Canadian citizens and permanent residents and temporary residents like students and workers on temporary permits. 1. Canadian citizens and permanent residents. To qualify for the Canada Carbon Rebate as a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, you must meet the following conditions. Residency: you have to live in one of the provinces that apply the federal carbon pricing system. This includes Ontario, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Prince Edward Island, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland and Labrador. If you live in one of these provinces, you're good to go, right? Age: you must be 19 years old or older. If you're under 19, you can still qualify if you're married or have a child. So, that's a good thing for younger folks, huh? Tax filing: you need to have filed a tax return for the previous year. For example, to qualify for the October 15, 2024 payment, you must have filed your 2023 tax return. So even if you had no income, you still need to file. This is a key point. Dependents: if someone claims you as a dependent on their taxes, you won't be eligible for a separate rebate. So, if you're being supported by someone financially and they claim you, that could affect your eligibility. Right, so those are the key points for Canadians and permanent residents. 2. Temporary residents, on study or work permits. Here's something new for 2024. If you're a temporary resident, such as someone on a study permit or work permit, you might also be eligible for the Canada Carbon Rebate. This is a big update, and it includes more people. To qualify, you must file your taxes. Like the other group, you have to file your tax return, this time for 2023. Residency. You must also be living in one of the provinces where the federal carbon pricing system applies. Valid permits. Your study or work permit needs to be valid at the time you apply for the CCR. So, yeah, the Canadian government is trying to include more people in this program, which is good for folks who are new to the country or just here temporarily. How to apply for the Canada Carbon Rebate. Okay, now let's talk about how to apply for the rebate. Well, for most people, the Canada Carbon Rebate is automatic, so if you meet the eligibility criteria, you won't need to do anything special. However, you should make sure that the Canada Revenue Agency, CRA, has your correct address and that you've filed your taxes. Here are a couple of things to keep in mind. File your 2023 taxes. The rebate is based on your tax return. If you haven't filed it yet, now's the time to do so. Even if you had no income, filing is essential. Update your information. If you've moved recently or changed your contact details, make sure the CRA has your current address. This ensures your payment reaches you without any delays. For newcomers or temporary residents, this is particularly important, as you may have moved to Canada recently. So, yeah, if you've done all that, the payment will come automatically. How much will I receive from the Canada Carbon Rebate? The amount you get from the Canada Carbon Rebate varies depending on several factors, like your province, family size, and whether you qualify for the Rural Supplement. Let's break down how much people can expect to receive in different provinces. Payments are calculated on a quarterly basis. Alberta, an individual can receive $225, while a spouse or common-law partner gets $112.50. If you have children, you can expect $56.25 per child under 19 years of age. Saskatchewan, an individual gets $188, and a spouse or common-law partner gets $94. For children under 19, the rebate is $47 per child. Ontario, individuals will receive $140, and spouses or partners get $70. For each child, it's $35 per eligible child under 19 years of age. Yeah, so you can see that the amounts differ across provinces, and rural residents often get an additional supplement to account for higher energy costs. Rural Supplement, an important change. One of the biggest updates for the 2024 payment cycle is the increase in the Rural Supplement. The Rural Supplement is designed to help residents who live in rural areas, where energy costs are generally higher due to longer commutes and increased reliance on home heating. For example, in Alberta, the Rural Supplement will be increased to $96.50 for an individual, which is a nice bump, right? This Rural Supplement increase applies across all provinces, so whether you live in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, or Ontario, if you're in a rural area, you'll see more support this year. Final thoughts. The Canada Carbon Rebate is a vital program that helps households cope with the additional costs caused by the federal carbon pricing system. With changes like the inclusion of temporary residents and the increase in rural supplements, the program is becoming more inclusive and equitable. So, if you're eligible, make sure you filed your taxes, updated your address, and stay informed about future payments. The next payment will be made on October 15, 2024, followed by others in January, April, and July of the following year. If you qualify, this is a great opportunity to receive some financial relief while contributing to Canada's broader climate action goals. I see now how all the pieces fit together. It's a big help to people across the country, especially those in rural areas or who have lower incomes. So, if you qualify, you definitely want to take advantage of this rebate.
Thanks for watching our video. Please hit the bell icon and subscribe the channel. Thank you.